Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at Beyond Mystic, and welcome to tonight's special report. Janine and I are decoding Disclosure Day. You can find her work, as always, at tarotbyjanine.com and also here on the Academy. Janine, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody. I'm doing really good.
Excited to be on tonight for the Decode, Janine?
Yep, I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight. Please let us know where you're watching from in the live chat. We are currently triple casting on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And we should be able to finish the show on 3 networks today. I don't think we're going to get into such difficult topics that we would have to disconnect the channel, but you never know. We'll keep you posted. At any rate, if you miss or you lose connection on one channel, please join us on the other one. We do have some prizes to give away tonight, guys. Also, Carla from Ascension Organites is giving away this beautiful shadow work pyramid. So we're going to be giving this beautiful one here at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. So pay attention to the words, keywords, dates, people during the show, and perhaps you will be the lucky one at the end of the show. So, Janine, where do we start? I mean, you and I have talked about this a little bit briefly on the IAP last night. Maybe we could start there before we go too far. Generally speaking, as a movie standalone, what did you think of Disclosure Day?
It was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It did, watching it reminded me of Spielberg's past movies. There was definitely whether that was the real Spielberg, they definitely kept close to the style of Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
And it had almost like a nostalgia to it, like older style movie making or something. It felt there was a feeling of sort of a classic way of handling the filming. And that was just my interpretation. I'm not a big film, I don't always understand how they're doing it, but I felt like it didn't have a lot of trickiness to it. It looked like a pretty straightforward story. And I definitely didn't have any trouble following the storyline. So it was kind of had a basic look to it, and it wasn't really deep either. Like I didn't feel like it was a super deep philosophical movie, but it had some plain truth. It was bringing its version of plain truth, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with the feeling. It feels like a Spielberg movie. It kind of touches on some of the notes of E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. As a standalone movie, it's good. It's entertaining. It's fast paced. The acting is really good. Emily Blunt holds the show absolutely. As the Disclosure movie, I'm torn on that one. I'm not sure. That's why we're doing the decode here tonight. Let's know in the live chat if you saw the movie. First of all, there are going to be some spoilers here in this conversation. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want the spoilers, maybe go watch the movie first and then come back to this decode a little bit later. So we are presuming that you've watched the movie here this evening to share some of the decodes for you guys tonight. So why don't we start by actually sharing the clip of the trailer itself, Janine? We'll put that on record for the audience, and then we'll start diving into this decode.
What did you steal?
Secrets. The data they paid me to protect.
Are they people?
No.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
Do you understand what she's saying?
I hear it's gibberish. I can't understand it.
And I can.
What's happening to me?
People are starved for the truth. I'm a part of it now. I'm just sorry they made you a part of it too.
Hello, Jane. Please, have a seat.
This 79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world. If you do this, there's no undoing it.
Why would they do this?
When the time is right, everything will become clear.
Whatever happens,
Don't you let go.
I gotta admit, the clicking it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
And the movie theater too, it was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Let me know, guys, in the live chat. Just give me a yes or a no if you actually saw the movie, so we'll give an understanding here of who the audience is tonight and how best to decode this. Okay, so going into the show here tonight, like, I have a gazillion questions for you, and we have about an hour to try to get through this. Was there one question that's burning for you, first of all, Janine, after watching the show? Did you think, oh man, I wanted to pull cards on that one, I'll wait till the show with Jean-Claude? If so, what would that be?
Well, it skips to a lot of. It'll give you a real clue what my opinion is about it. If I say the question, are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm making a lot of assumptions by asking the question, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My question would be, why did they only show one kind of alien in the show?
Uh-huh.
So if it is disclosure, it's pretty limited.
Yeah.
And it does open a lot of doors around the psychic abilities of aliens, how maybe they've been communicating with us psychically through animals. Like it does open a lot of doorways that way, but they only really zoom in on one sort of style. And I'm pretty sure there's more than one kind of other humanoid beings. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that they really kept it. So is that something, like, it feels limited that way? And I'd want to know why they did it that way.
Okay. I am with you on that one. That was the big thing. And that leads to many more questions also. Now, to be true to this, even though it looks like one group, because they kind of point at the grays and all of this, there's more than one version of them in the show. So they have the tiny ones, because here, when they do the disclosure stuff and it's on the big screen and you see all these boxes, if you stop and you pay attention, I took a few screenshots during the video, and they show tall grays, they show what appear to be smaller grays, they show the grays that have more of a kind of like triangle head. So in that way, they kind of gave us more than one. So it's not just the grays that in the movie. But at first glance, for a newbie, look at the movie, oh wow, all the ETs are just gray. So I get why you're saying that. And it's definitely made to be that way. They didn't show us any reptilians. They didn't show us any tall whites or Nordic types or anything else. It's just the gray kind of typical big black eyes, big head, small body type of frame. So I'm with you on that. I was a little bit disappointed in that too, because they're like focusing on one race.
Yeah.
Before you pull cards, that leads into another point of my disappointment also, is that in all instances of them showing these different interactions with humans have the upper hand, humans are mean, and they're hurting these poor little gray aliens, and they're hurting and they're crying, and everybody watching the video is like, oh my god, it's so bad. I'm like, hold on a second. That makes it look they're painting it in a very specific way also. So I'm gonna ask you to pull on that just after yours, but let's get in there. But did you notice that too? It's like, come on, why are we crying for gray aliens?
Why are they making them all good? So they all had fairly good intentions towards humans.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely convinced that's the case. Even the cards don't seem to agree with that.
Right. And you remember, you and I got in trouble maybe 2-3 years ago. We did a decode on a specific thing. I won't mention names. And it had turned out that I had interviewed this person a couple years back. And between that interview and a new interview, it appeared that this person was either lying or misspoke or was changing their narrative, right? And part of that interview that you and I did was discussing the nature of the supposed Galactic Federation, where we have a group of people who are saying, they're all love and light, JC, there's no bad ETs, blah, blah. And you and I were like, oh, hold on one cotton picket minute. We don't think that's true. And the cards absolutely did not think that's true. But that resulted in a whole bunch of weird videos that were made. Somebody paid to make these videos about us, saying that we weren't training people, we were lying to them. Like, they wanted to bring us down after that video. It didn't succeed, but somebody was really aggravated that we were going against the grain of thinking as all ETs are good. That appeared to be the narrative, or the direction of the narrative, or the control of the narrative at the time. And clearly by this movie, it appears to be going still in that same direction.
Yeah.
So, buyer beware. Janine and I are probably going to get in trouble tonight for decoding what we're about to tell you. So, but we're going to do what we're going to do. So, Janine, how do you want to phrase your first question? Why only the Greys in the movie? You want to go there?
Yeah. Why did they limit? Because they didn't show any reptilians.
Yeah.
They didn't show. Yeah. They didn't show any of the tall Nordics or those panther-looking cat-like ones. Like,
yeah, Syrians. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Like, they visited me. So,
Yeah.
like, that seems weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's have a look. Why did they do that?
So why the focus on the Greys?
Yeah.
And then we'll do a supplemental. Why are they so good?
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring you up your card deck here.
Okay.
TZ says, well, maybe Spielberg sold out to the cabal. Maybe. I don't know. But let's see what the cards have to say first on why they were focusing on the Greys.
Okay, see the Two of Swords?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're holding off on. So it's a limiting thing. They want to limit something. It's so they're directing. They're trying to direct the traffic. Directing the traffic and taking the middle road. So they're taking one little part of the story and focusing on that little part. Maybe they think that's all anyone can handle right now. I don't know. But that's what it looks like. And yeah, so they made a choice to keep it. So it's a strategic move to get the traffic looking at something. So yeah, like Juan O'Savin was always trying to direct traffic in the community. I feel like this movie's trying to direct traffic.
Yeah, and you know,
but not opening it up to all the other lanes.
Right. Why specifically? Give me a clarifier. Is it timing? Is it for fear of, hurting some type of operation that we don't know about?
So that's this is interesting. The Hermit card comes up, and that's my the White Hat Alliance card. Okay, I wonder if the Greys they were showing there are the Alliance, and they're doing it to protect the Alliance. So they need people to be nice to those types. Okay, maybe the Greys are ourselves, our future selves, like I always get the Alliances, and maybe that's how the Alliance appears to people. Okay, it has something to do with the Alliance and the war we're in. So they're maybe doing it to protect the Alliance or to get people prepared for the truth about the Alliance. Maybe the Alliance will appear that way. So this was very limited as a it's a teaching tool, the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Let's reshuffle. I want to ask you why the focus on they're just good. They don't want to invade us. They just want to be us to use empathy and have better relations with us. That seems to be their goal, generally speaking, in the movie. Why are they so good and why are we so bad? That's how we're portrayed in the movie.
Yep. Well, it was interesting that there was a group that was sort of outside the books, outside the government group. I thought that was interesting disclosure. How
Yeah,
the
Wardex is the name of the company.
Yeah.
You could tie in like MJ12 with some military contractors, like, maybe Skunk Works, or they name whichever one you want in there, but a conglomeration perhaps of off books, and you could tell from the movie that's what they're getting at. They're kind of saying that they're para governmental, but they're arm's length and they have their own money to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the guy who's in charge, Colin Firth, he gets a call from the president or the general. He says, "No, I don't want even to pick up." Like, he decides who he talks to or not. So you could clearly tell he seems to think he's above any type of government or military oversight in the movie. So why are they all bad? Why are they all so good? And why are we portrayed also bad in here, hurting all those poor little ETs in the movie?
Well, the cards are saying, because that's a fact. The cards are saying because it's actually what's been happening to those kind of ETs.
Okay.
That's the experience they've been having.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, we have been shooting them down at all opportunity.
And those videos that are circulating, I don't know if they're real or not, but those ones coming out of Russia, I circulated a few today.
Yeah.
They do look like those exact kind of ETs. And it does look like humans are prodding and poking at them if they're true, if those are real videos. They're pretty realistic looking anyway.
So here's where perhaps Spielberg's dilemma was. On one hand, he wants to show humans, hey, maybe we have to calm down a little bit and not shoot everything we see in the sky just because we don't understand it. That's kind of like her MO for humans. I get that point. But at the same time, if you don't give the counterbalance in the movie to say, but there are also some danger out there, and we have to use discernment before we decide to shoot, but also before we decide to go hug an alien who might want us for lunch. You might want to use some discernment. That counter argument is not in the movie. So why is that? You would think that they would at least give the audience members both. Kind of like, yeah, these are good. Stop shooting all the good ETs, but be wary. There might be some not so good ones out there too. Why is that void in this movie?
Let's reshuffle here.
Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, it's limited. It's definitely a limited movie.
Yeah.
And my first impression was, this is a white hat op. It definitely wasn't demonic, like all those stories about it's demonic. No way. No way. And it wouldn't even, like, why was Spielberg, or it wasn't really him in my opinion anyway, but that person playing Spielberg, why was they saying something like, oh, it could make you question religion? I mean, it really didn't make, like, I never bought organized religion anyway, but I
think that's why you're not perhaps the crowd to even question that. You've already questioned that, since a kid. But they do make a half-ass attempt with the nun in the movie, and how I won't spoil too much in there too, but they do bring that question in there half-assedly, like really. I didn't get it. We didn't get a scholarly debate on what it means for religions. We do have the girlfriend of the Snowden type disclosure guy here in the movie. She's saying, well, what gives you the right? Like, this is going to happen, what people think about religion and blah, 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 blah. And he says, well, everybody needs to know the truth and they can make their decisions from there. So you can tell that she's struggling with that because she had gone to school to be a nun and then dropped out, she was triggering by this information. And you could tell that now she was in a moral or religious dilemma herself. But that was really a sidebar to the movie. Yeah. It didn't really last long, and it didn't really affect me all that much. So now we're asking, why is there no counterpart to, there might be some ETs out there that are not so nice to us, and you need to pay attention also. If you're going to make a disclosure or a documentary, you might want to have both sides of the narrative here.
didn't have enough time, maybe. This card says they walked away from that. They saw that as an opportunity and walked away, decided to focus in. So they had a focus to keep the movie in focus. They just had one thing they wanted to get out there. This is definitely geared towards normies, not towards this group. So this group will have way more questions around the movie. This is geared towards people just realizing that it's not a fairy tale, that there's otherworldly beings. They're just barely, like, people like a lot of my family members. This is for the very, very beginner. This is 101. This is Aliens 101. And if you think about Spielberg, he is like, his movies are childlike in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it looks like he was big into children himself, but we won't get into that. But this is like 101 for normies here. Yeah, that's why it's just barely there to just barely start the process. This is just to get everybody warmed up that there's stuff been going on, and it's true. It's been going on.
Well, okay. So as much as I was frustrated with the lack of, like you say, other races, and the fact that maybe some are not so nice, like that's evident in the movie, I was discouraged by that. But then I sat back and I thought about it. I said, if this is really, really, like you say, and I believe it is for normies 101 on the ET stuff, if you're going to, rattle people's cage and tell them they're not alone, it's probably easier to start with, you're not alone. Look at these poor little grays, and we have to cry because they're hurt and the humans are bad. You see, it portrays humanity as in control, and they're not the prey. They're actually the hunter of these ETs, right? If you were going to do a disclosure and say, oh my God, there's these 20-foot tall reptilians and they're eating babies, for the normies, it might be a little bit harder to swallow to begin with. So it's kind of like, it's a baby step. I think
it's literally a baby step.
Yeah. Like Laura says, do that again. No, I was just a little bit aggravated with all the crying in the movie. I'm like, really? That's your first reaction? You're crying because there's an ET in a crash? Like really? My first reaction, if I'm a normie and I'm watching this, motherfuckers, they've been lying to me for 79 years. That would be my reaction. Not oh, there's a dead body and we have to cry for this poor human, whatever it is. Like,
also, those same aliens they were crying for, picked up the two main characters in the movie and messed around with them from an early age and changed their whole life trajectory.
Yeah.
And created some issues in their life, actually, to be honest. And so it's like, hello. Yeah, they were messed with as children. So, not sexually, but I mean, in weird ways, psychically. So, and it also showed in the movie that the potential of psychic control by the aliens, I mean, with that weird instrument they had, that was obvious. So that kind of brought the scary part in, actually, that instrument, and the fact that they also get themselves into animal bodies and come through animals, which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the abduction part. So at least that's in there. Yeah. They don't touch it so much. Like when you look at Fire in the Sky, that movie, it looks absolutely gruesome when you see that the first time, the abduction, like it's scary as fuck. This one here, they kind of like massage over the abduction. The little boy is maybe a little bit more scared, but the girl's not scared, and she's asking the little boy to hold her hand. It's like a soft version of what would be otherwise a very terrifying experience, to be taken out of your bedroom, weird animals turning into ETs, prodding and probing you, in a weird environment. So there's that. Now, what's interesting to me is that they seem to be hinting that they're tracking what they call experiencers or abductees in the movie. So the military or this Wardex outfit, they're tracking those people, and they're a little bit pissed off also that they can't manipulate those people as much as they want to, that there's some type of block there with them using that technology to manipulate people who've been abducted. So let's do a poll on that. Like, is that generally true? that the military is tracking people who've been abducted and also perhaps fear them in a way, and maybe they're not as susceptible to their control mechanisms as they would otherwise be if they had not been abducted. That seems to be a theme here.
So we're asking if that's accurate. What
Yeah,
you
the way
described.
they're portraying it, yeah. Because this guy here, Colin Firth, again, he's using the technology here to what they call drop into people. They literally, they bring you up on a screen. He looks at them. He's using this piece of technology, and he can go control somebody remotely, look through their eyes, figure out where they are, what hotel they're at, what street they're walking on, etc., and also control their brain to do actions against their will. In some cases here, all the way up to murder. That's fascinating. But when he tries to do that to one of the abductees, one of the main characters in the movie, he gets physically hurt doing that. There's a block there that's preventing him from doing that. And now he realizes, oh shit, this guy that used to work for me is an abductee. How did we not know about this? And so he's very distraught by that. So is that true, generally speaking? Like the tracking and maybe not being able to manipulate them as much as they would otherwise?
I think it's true. It's true for the cabal. So when they were in charge, absolutely, that's what they were doing. And it's now in charge, White Hat Alliance in charge. And I feel like they're trying to undo or walk that backwards, or they're frowning on that. So it does look like it's been true.
Uh-huh.
They've been doing that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe for decades.
Somebody's saying, JC, stop giving away the whole movie. Oh no, I told you at the beginning of the show. There's spoilers. We're decoding it. So if you don't want the spoilers,
we can't decode without talking about the movie.
No. We're asking deep dive questions, guys. Sorry about that. Again, go watch the show and then come back to the decode if you want. Okay, and I warned you at the beginning. Come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, it's the truth. Okay. Tracy Ann, let me go to this. She says, hey, JC, did you see some of the truthers that are saying the movie invites demons? I did see that. Janine saw that, but
No.
I did not see that in the movie whatsoever.
No.
Even with the clicking or the alien dialect that she's speaking, it didn't irk me like when I watch other movies that are clearly more demonic and with that particular intention in mind. I didn't feel it. Maybe I'm wrong. Janine didn't feel it. But for people's ease, is it Janine somehow? Is there some type of back masking or weird demonic agenda in the background here that we didn't capture us just watching the film in 3D? Is it there? Let's do a poll. Yeah. Don't think so, but could be wrong.
Whatever was going on in the movie was all agreed upon by several different agencies or groups, not just one. So people came together to put the message out. Okay, so here's what they wanted you to get from the message: to look forward to knowing more about aliens, to make it friendly enough that you're opening up to kind of what Jean-Claude said, to make it so it's a gateway to being open to real disclosure coming. So it just opens the gate. That's what they wanted to accomplish. So the message they put message in it, but the message was openness. And so it's not there's no demons here. There's no, we'd have to see some really sketchy cards there for that to happen. Now here's the outcome. So does it do what it wants to do? Already people are going to, there's already going to be a lot of nervousness around aliens. Okay, so they're probably, maybe I'm underestimating just how closed down normies can be about these things, because to me that's like obvious. Okay, but I guess a lot of people are going to be freaked out. So the Alliance seems to know what they're doing here. And we're looking at the very end of the movie, a movie coming to an end here. So I feel like with that in sight, you will get a lot more truth about aliens, but this is just, like I said, 101, and all they're trying to do is get you open up to, and this is the normies, not us, we're way past that, opened up to just even curious and looking into it. So
Yeah.
they're just trying to massage you into, be open because this is coming anyway, so you better just be open to it, don't freak out. But they're going to freak out anyway.
Yeah.
When the real stuff comes out, they're going to freak.
Well, at some point, the leader of the opposition in the movie, who's orchestrating disclosure of this material, he gets very angry at some point to the guy at Vortex, and he's saying, like, you have no right. And he says, people just want to know. They're just curious. Humans are curious, and we want to know. They saw something, they experienced something, and you've literally, what's the word, infantilized? Like, you've made people feel like children by ridiculing them for even asking questions about this topic, right?
Yeah.
So on one hand, we're going to have humans that are going to freak out, but we have a big portion of the humans who actually just want to know. Like, I saw something, I experienced something. What was that? Okay, like, it's simple to ask questions. Somebody in the chat is saying, JC, I can't believe you're wasting all this time on this foolishness. I wholeheartedly disagree, Wendy. It's not foolishness. The ET question and disclosure and getting humanity to understand what's really happening on this planet is the single most important conversation we can have. Absolutely not foolishness. And although the movie is infantile in the way I think they're describing disclosure, it is what Janine said. It's one-on-one. It's a gate through. It's an opening to at least start the conversation. And guess what? If you're going to have a conversation with people, you can't tell them that the topic of the conversation is foolishness on the offset. That's not very indicative of having a honest adult conversation about things and where they're going to go for the human race. But I think it's absolutely an important topic. Okay. Janine, where do we go? The drop in technology, they don't really address it. So somebody was saying, hey, that stick he's holding, it has many different powers. They don't really get into it. Nowhere in the show do they talk about telemetry, propulsion, anything like that. Like, they don't really touch it. They completely glaze over the tech and how that could change humanity.
Yeah.
They touch the religious thing half-assedly, that it might change our view on religion. But the bigger question is, holy shit, are we talking about free energy here? Are we talking about jacking up humanity's consciousness to where they're all telepathic, like the main character in the movie is?
That's really big in it. That's really big.
Yeah. So let's talk about why also the lack of tech. That seems to me, because again, the opposition here says, you guys aren't protecting the status quo. You're protecting your power and your hold on this technology. He says that to the guy. Right? So why didn't we get into the technology?
Yeah, they barely touch on it, yet it's a big part of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a disclosure in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, again, herding us to, like, they don't want to us jumping like ahead.
Yeah.
So this is like they're trying to keep it to 101 here before you get. So that would be maybe an advanced class in aliens, and this is 101. Remember?
Yeah.
So they're just foreshadowing. So they put that in there for foreshadowing in case somebody wants to jump ahead and start looking into stuff. But it's absolutely something that they don't want you to get ahead of if you're not ready to, you got to know the 101. So they're trying to do it. They're layering it.
Well, it's opening up a whole bunch of can of worms. So on one hand, they want disclosure, but they still want to control the technology. They still want to control the access to who these ETs really are, what they want, what their agenda is. Like,
drip feed. They want to drip feed this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're still trying to control it.
but for most of the audience, we're like, come on already.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
totally.
Now, there's something interesting in the movie. We haven't got to this yet, but in the movie, it appears that they're on the brink of World War III. We keep seeing the news clips, while she's a weather girl, but you see everybody else talking about, hey, we're on the brink of war. They're bringing these Korean translators to talk about Kim Jong-un and what he's going to do. And in one particular clip, as disclosure is happening, let me see if we can go to the other tab here. Here, Kim declares North Korea prepared to defend itself. We see warships going to... So we're on the verge or on the eve of World War III in the movie. They don't really get to it, but like it's turmoil. People are stressed out about it, to the point about, why are we talking about ETs, man? We're about to go to World War III or something like that. Like, that's the feeling in the movie. Up until a couple of weeks ago, it very much felt like that for the rest of humanity with the Iran situation. But as this movie was launched on the 12th, this was just 2 days before the supposed, and we'll get into that tomorrow night with Janine, new peace deal between the Trump administration and Iran that was signed on his birthday. So that seems to be crisis averted in Iran, even though Netanyahu kind of broke the peace treaty again and started shooting at Lebanon. Plus ça change, plus c'est pareil with that guy. So we're not sure if we're at peace yet, but it looks like we're getting to the peace, and we're moving away from the direction in the movie that looked very much like World War III was about to happen. So I'm saying that for a reason, because Janine, you said this a couple of months ago, or the Cards did a couple of months ago, that disclosure was coming up because they were on a clock to disclosure. There was a timeline of events that were going to happen regardless of them, and they wanted to stay ahead of the narrative somehow. Here they're suggesting that the ETs or whoever is on the disclosure side, because we learn at the end that there's a live ET talking with the people who are trying to disclose the information. So there's a force at play here during what appears to be the eve of World War III. And so is that what's happening in reality right now? Is there an ET force right now exerting a pressure as we see world turmoil and perhaps a world war looming with Iran and whoever else, and that ET right now is pushing disclosure, and that's why government now is trying to get ahead of them with their own limited hangout disclosure that is this Disclosure Day movie.
And that makes a lot of sense to the very end word that woman says.
Listen.
Maybe they've got something to say to humanity, and they're going to say it whether white hats agree or not.
Right. And so if you haven't seen the end of the trailer, at the end of the movie, as they are able to broadcast, and everybody's broadcasting around the world this information, they roll out an ET, an actual living ET that was presumably recovered in a crash and has been kept locked up, interrogated, whatever, for many decades, and they roll them out on the mainstream news. And because the two individuals in question have the ability to communicate with it, they have a role to play now as an intermediary between the ET and the millions of people watching TV live for this broadcast. And just as the ET speaks, there's a translation moment between the boy and the girl's about to tell us what the ET said. She says, listen, and then fade to black, the movie's over. A lot of people were disappointed in that too. It's like, what did he say? We can't hear it. So let's go back to the original question here of World War III. Is there an entity, alien entity right now, exerting pressure on disclosure, and is the government trying to get ahead of that with this movie? That was my question.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that looks like a yes. That's a truth and integrity card. We've got the Three of Pentacles. I think it's been working with various different groups, and they're very carefully protecting it. It has a lot of secrets to tell humanity, a lot of things we don't know about how we came to be here, about our history. I feel like it's going to divulge a bunch of secrets. And again, they're trying to drip feed it so it's not too overwhelming.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's two animal characters in the movie. There's the red cardinal, the bird, and also deer. It's funny, you did a decode about the deer in my backyard a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's one right now while I'm talking, I swear to God. I'll take a quick picture and I'll show you. Hold on, where's my phone? I don't have my phone. There's a deer right there in my driveway. Okay, that's odd.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Where was I with this? Yeah, and so in the movie, they seem to be messengers. Now, they have deer and also, like I said, the red bird, the cardinal. And both of the young people are seeing these and they're looking and having long interactions with deer who are just staring at them. Is that happening en masse on the planet right now too, to where people are having these interactions with either some type of birds or deer that are communicating some type of preemptive messaging or get ready here for disclosure? Do you want to do a poll on that?
I think it'd be worthwhile. I'm going to go to it again if I get a chance. I'm going to go see it again in Vancouver. I was in Vancouver when I saw it, and because I feel like there's some layers I probably missed by, like your first time around. I feel like I'd watch it again just to get more layers.
Yeah.
Now, I have lots of interactions with animals and have my whole life, especially like spirit animals and visions of animals coming to me. Never in the way they portrayed it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
So I'm just going to share you some security footage from my cameras outside. Did you see the deer? It just went into the tree right there.
Just ran. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird, right?
Yeah,
Just as
it is
live.
weird.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so you're asking, say it again.
Is
please.
that happening to humans right now where they're having interaction with birds and or deer? And in fact, it's kind of like,
Absolutely.
oh, wow.
Absolutely happening. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's an absolutely yes. And also I get, it's probably happening more than people realize. And some people are receptive to understanding what's happening and other people aren't. So they're coming to people, but not everybody's picking up on it. That's interesting because the movie, what was it called? The End of the World movie there with Julia Roberts. And remember we decoded that one too, where they were on, I think, Staten Island, and then all
Oh,
the
yeah. There was
it was deer again. They did.
Yeah,
These
that's
deer
true.
acting weird again.
The deer were staring at the kids in the backyard. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
7. So I feel like that's been happening for quite a while. And like I said, so it depends on how open somebody is to receiving what they're telepathically talking to you through animals. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. Anything else you want to pull in this movie, Jenny? Anything else now after we've looked at this? Is there another angle?
Well, let's officially poll. Did the white hats have anything to do with this? Was this purely like a fluke that
Yeah, is
some
that
people-
just Hollywood being Hollywood, or is there like?
is there something to the, because I made that assumption, but is it true?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Right. Were the White Hat Alliance in any way involved in this? Because they would have had to be working on it quite a while ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the timing of it too has to be. It's so interesting.
I thought Colin Firth did a great job, by the way, if that was really him.
I didn't.
You didn't like him?
Well, I mean, he's such a great actor, and in this movie, he's underutilized.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt held the whole screen the whole time.
Definitely did.
She wow. He was underutilized. They could have put just another guy in there. I didn't think he was particularly captivating either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like him. Like you, but I don't know.
So yeah, they from the get-go they planned it. So yes, in the past, and then had a little bit of trouble keeping it on the mark they wanted it. So it didn't really, like, I guess when you're making a movie, it doesn't always come out exactly. They had a little bit of trouble keeping everybody on their agenda. So whoever was managing it, technically, literally, they had a little bit of trouble with that.
Well,
So
I can imagine if it's a white hat movie, it's still Hollywood. They still need financing. They still need the actors to get on board. Like, and they had all of these conflicting messages. Okay, we're going to disclose here, but we can't disclose this one. But we're going to say this. But oh shit, we can't say that. Like, I could just imagine Spielberg's like, I want to shoot my head. Like, let me do the movie already. But they have all these contingencies that probably changed 20 times from big or 100 times. Yeah.
So they absolutely had to do with it, but it was frustrating to work with them, and I'm sure the people that were boots on the ground making the movie.
Yeah.
It was also their idea, White Hat Alliance, so it came from them, right? So they had the idea what they wanted to do, and then they had to get these guys to do it, and that was hard.
So my next question, if we can bring up the website, Department of War, the UFO release website of the government. They were putting more stuff out. How come that's not up on the screen? Hold on. They were putting more stuff up just the day before this disclosure movie came out too. So clearly, like, it's kind of happening in real time in a way. But so I have it on the screen here, guys. If you haven't perused this website, there's still a lot of stuff I think we haven't seen or people haven't decoded yet. They just did another dump, like I said, a couple of days ago. Now, if it's true that we're on a timeline for something and there's a manipulation or that the disclosure is coming either way and the government's trying to get ahead of it, clearly with the website, they're doing the same thing here too. I want to pull on timing. Like, when's this event that they're all afraid of that they want to stay ahead of? Is it this summer? Is it in the fall? Is it next year? Is it 2 weeks from now? Where are we on that timeline?
Past, present.
JC, can you put the link of the website in the chat? Oh yeah, hold on. Let me bring that here on Rumble. Hold on. Or actually, I'll put it up here in the comments. There you go. It's pretty easy, guys. It's war.gov/UFO. That's the government website there, right there. Janine, you want to just pull up your cards a little bit? I'll leave the link up for people here who want to type that in. Okay, go ahead. So timing to the event that's forcing disclosure. That's what we were asking.
I got to scrunch them up a little.
Yeah, that's good.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the past, we've got the Six of Swords, which is a lot has already been disclosed. So they're already started the process, and they've been doing, because that's in the past. So they've been like working on this for a really long time. We've got the Four of Pentacles in the now. So it looks like they're again, there's a real control to that four. They are definitely trying to control things and keep some things close to the chest and control when something comes out and when it doesn't. The hidden influence is a Cabal card. But it could also be this guy's also manipulating and controlling. Okay, so so the Hierophant in it is best sense. It can be an amazing card. It's somebody who's really good at organizing, okay, who's really organized and really knows how to put out information, has a lot of charisma, and a lot of people will listen to them. Okay, so in a way they're dangerous because they could be like a preacher with charisma. So they could really mislead if they don't have good intentions, or they can really lead you to the truth. Okay, but they're very powerful. There's a power to it. So the hidden influence is the Hierophant controlling information. The whole thing is about what gets out, how fast it gets out. They're very worried about that. We've seen that firsthand, Jean-Claude and I, with this whole movement, the Truther movement. We've seen it. Okay, so they're definitely controlling. Okay, and this card tells me that too, although a lot has already been disclosed and come out. And a lot of people have gone looking and found their own information. And here, so this is kind of a drip card and trying to make it, so that's in the near future, trying to make it so it goes smooth so people don't freak out. So they don't want the whole world upset, like going and buying everything from the stores and turning into like chaos because they're all trying to hide from the aliens, or like they don't want civil war over it. They don't want, so they are trying to keep it so it's smooth. That card wants everything to run smooth. Well, you can't always make everything run smooth, but with billions of people on the earth. So it's all about control. Okay. Now here we've got the 8 of Swords here and the 10. We are right up against, I'd say in the next 4 months, they're expecting whatever it is within 4 months. It could even be sooner, but within 4 months, because this card says, even though they've been trying to control it, they're out of time. So we're right up against it. It's like soon. It's soon.
Wow.
And 3, now we've got a 3 here. So water sign month. So our next water sign month's July. And after that is, what would it be? So I guess that's Cancer and then Scorpio time. So Scorpio's late October. So July, between July and October, kind of between water sign months or in a water sign month. And the Wheel of Fortune, like it's destined, it's coming. And also the Wheel of Fortune indicates that it's not really up to them. That's out of their hands. But they know it's coming soon.
Yeah.
And they're assuming maybe even sooner that it does. Like they're planning for it to come out. They think they're out of time here. So they're just doing what they can.
That's fascinating. Don't play the drinking game. JC said fascinating. Okay, well, thank you for that, Janine. We have some prizes to give away, guys. Don't forget, we're just about to hit 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And Janine and I are giving away some silver bars as well as some personal one-on-one ratings for Janine for this big draw event here once we hit the 100K. So if you want to participate in that, of course, you need to be a subscriber on either YouTube and or Rumble, depending on where you want to participate in the 100K party. And you can fill out the form here on beyondmystic.academy. Don't need to buy anything. Just fill out the form. Let us know you want to be part of this draw. And as soon as we hit the 100K, either on YouTube or on Rumble, we're going to start giving away some cool prizes for you guys. While you are there, and again, not connected, please do check out also the new Jupiter and Leo workshop by Astrid. Last week's workshop on Chiron was very popular. This is the next one coming up. Incredible alignments all year this year, and Astrid is doing a really great job with these workshops, helping you navigate and use these energies for your highest good there. So check that out. Also, yes, Carla, who's giving away the pyramid for tonight, has the Golden Cosmos sale right now. The Leo Organite Pyramid and Shungite pendants are off at 35% off here on AscensionOrganites.com. That coupon code is valid until July 3rd. So if you're interested in that, yes, please go to AscensionOrganites.com. And this is the beautiful pyramid we're going to be giving away just now. Janine, do you have a question for the audience members?
Sure.
Okay.
What's the key word I just said? Oh, whoops. Sorry, that'll come back in a minute.
Okay.
What's the key word? I'll just hold it up old school.
Okay.
I said about the Hierophant card. What is the Hierophant for good or evil? What's this person trying to do? One word.
Keyword.
Do you know Jean-Claude, or should I text it to you?
Text it just to make sure I got the right one, because I'm not sure on that one. While we wait for that to populate in the live chat, I'm looking here. Guys, you can find Janine also at tarotbyjanine.com and bring up her website there. And for the most part, I think everything's back on track for the schedule this week. We do make changes from time to time, sometimes last minute. We have kids and stuff to do sometimes, as you know, if you're a parent. So if you're wondering where the shows are, just go to beyondmystic.net/schedule. Coco does her very best to update that live here on Everyday when and if there's last minute schedule changes. So please check that out. Again, big week this week, quite a few shows. Janine are back on, of course, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern for the pay-per-view. Then the viewer question edition on Thursday, as well as the Big Rumble show on Thursday night, which Astrid is going to join us again. It was a fabulous show when she was on a week or two ago, and she's coming up again this week to help us decode some of these crazy news items that we've been tracking here all week. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be this Thursday night also. Okay, so Janine, let me go back to the live chat here. There you go. We're there. And let me make sure I had... Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I was confusing the Hierophant because you talked about... no.
The Wheel of Fortune?
No, I was confusing the Hermit because when you showed me the Hierophant, I was thinking Hermit in my head. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't match. But anyways, yes, a lot of people have the right answer. Let me know, Janine, when you want me to stop the feed here, and we'll pick a lucky winner.
Stop.
Can eyes control? Cyan eyes? No, cyan eyes. There you go. Congratulations, you're the winner. Yes, control was the word. If you go to beyondmystic.net, top of the page, just fill out the tech support form, let us know you're a winner, and we'll have Carla send that out to you in short order. And again, big thank you to Carla. Please do go, guys, and check out her sales on ascensionorganize.com. And of course, if you're interested in the 100K party and perhaps winning a one-on-one rating with Janine, here's the place to be, beyondmystic.academy. Just fill out the form. All right, I love you guys. Have a great evening. This was the Disclosure Day Decode. I hope we gave you some insights on the movie. We didn't leave you too much astray. But again, at the end of the day, in my personal view, not much of a disclosure movie. Just like Sound of Freedom was not much of a pedophile adrenochrome movie. It was an entry level for most of our friends and family, easy to digest for most of our friends and family. So in that way, it was good. But in and of itself, as a movie, it was still good. It was still entertaining. It was still a la Spielberg-ish kind of feeling to it. And I enjoyed the movie. So go check it out.
I mean, I'd go to it again. I mean, sure.
Yeah. But you know what you have to see, Joe, Janine? And if you want, we'll do a decode on it. Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's, in my personal opinion, way more entertaining and way more of a sci-fi movie than this is. But still, I wouldn't not miss it. I would definitely recommend you go see Disclosure Day for yourself and see what you can pick up, because we could do a whole extra hour looking at all the Easter eggs, like all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. There's more disclosure there, but you would need to be able to pause frame and all this and all these things to get into that. Perhaps we'll do that later on in the year, but definitely still a good watch if you guys want to go check it out. So love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow night, Janie and I, at 8 o'clock Eastern. Love you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Au revoir.